I don't usually do much editing. Usually I clip a little bit at the beginning of the end when I'm kind of sitting down and setting up, and that's really it. I'd be very rare to take out like a pause or an awkward silence, because I kind of feel like that's part of the game. That's part of what I'm trying to share, is just me. You know, you're kind of just chatting with me. That's really all I'm doing.
Okay. Now, you interviewed people, obviously. What if someone is shy or has stage fright or whatever? What's your advice for someone like that we want to get introduced to the community? Because the goal here is to know people better. I see a person's name, John Smith, Mary Smith, on a post, and it's anonymous in a sense. Don't really know who they are unless I've met them in person. But if I see a video, and that was the great thing about the Snotties last year, the Video Choice Awards this year, the community recognition videos, that you'll capture their personality, their manner of speaking in a sense in real life, and then when you read their email or read their posts, it's like, oh, that's their background, that's their accent, that's their vernacular. Then now I understand it better, and I know the person better. So again, what's your advice for someone that may do a lot of writing, may be creative, but just hasn't broken that barrier of speaking in public on camera?
Yeah, I think there's a few things. First, kind of look at some of the different videos other people have done, and you're sure to see some that might intimidate you a little bit, but you're also going to see some that are just kind of raw, and you can see, this is no big thing. These people are okay with exposing their blemishes and imperfections as well. So that's part of it. Another thing, like I said, is that it's almost like when you're not sure about what you're going to say to someone, so you write the letter, but you say to yourself when you're writing it, I may never send this, but I'm just going to write it. So to me, like, you film some videos, but while you're filming them, you're thinking to yourself, I'm filming these, but I may or may not ever share them. I'll make that choice later. And so that kind of takes off the pressure of, will these ever see the light of day? Maybe they won't. That's your choice for later. Then after you're done, you can take a look at it and see. And oftentimes what makes the most sense, and what I've done before with certain videos, is I'll show it to one or two trusted community members that I know are comfortable with the ins and outs of my personality and will give me honest, kind feedback. And I get the feedback, and then I make that decision at that point what to do. So that's my advice for kind of getting started, is to learn the technology and have some fun with it, and don't necessarily say to yourself, this is going to end up somewhere. Just have fun for now.
All right. Well, that's cool. We'll talk a little technology, then I'll wrap up here. The original ones that I shot, I had a Nikon Coolpix camera, which could shoot right to QuickTime video, and that was easy enough to do, put in your pocket. And then earlier this year, a lot of the SAP mentors got a flip camera, and there's some pluses and minuses with that. It does have a very good lens and high definition recording, and there's some challenges for me with uploading. You shoot for a minute and you've got 100 megabytes. You may not have a really good connection, or a high-speed connection, so that does become a technical challenge, not a creative challenge in making the video. But then what do you do with it? So there was some shuffling there. I don't have anything more elaborate. I know that there's video gear up to tens of thousands of dollars that can have better lenses, better focus, better lighting, and all that. But for this particular venue of a community video, we just want to see your face, want to see your eyes, your lips moving. So what kind of technologies do you use in your lab, in the Jon Reed lab?
Yeah, well, my lab would be laughed at by any serious video professional. But I do have all three of my computers, home office, and laptop, synced up with the same setup, so I can do stuff from wherever. I did encounter a little bit of your same issue in that once I now have that high definition flip cam they gave the mentors, and the high definition videos do come out a little bit bulkier, and those can create some initial sluggishness around editing, and that's something to keep in mind. One thing I did find out, I'm on the Windows WinHell setup, so I use simple movie maker type software, and I found out that once I save that high def video in WMV format, it ends up being about the same size as my old ones.
Yep.
So once I have it saved in that format, then and only then do I start looking at uploading the videos. And of course YouTube, which is the primary destination for these videos, because from YouTube you can kind of do whatever you want with them from there, embed them in blog posts or what have you, and YouTube can handle almost any format. So that was kind of my solution to that. But so I have a pretty simple setup where I have some intro and outro clips that I've established, and I do some pretty basic stuff, but I just use the free Movie Maker software that came with Windows. And I guess it's possible someday I might want to upscale that, but you have to also pay attention to hardware at that point. And for me, it's more a matter of my videos are kind of authentic Jon Reed material, so I don't really need anything fancy at this point.
Right. I had my Christmas list last year was a video editing program, which is probably under $100. Not a great expense, big extravagance, and that does add some bells and whistles that the Windows Movie Maker doesn't. Again, you got to pay attention to the format that you're rendering it to. I've written it in most of the blogs that I've uploaded, which formats I picked, and had some surprises again when uploading to YouTube, whether it comes out in HD or not. The last one I did, I think one of them ended up in HD and the other one didn't, but it had multiple embedded pixel formats, and some of that's fun for the technicians. Not really a big deal if you're just viewing it on a PC and it's in a postage stamp size screen window, sub window on your screen. So yeah, get it done, get it over with. So any other thoughts about Tech Ed? There's going to be a clue train in EMEA. I'm hoping that'll be pretty cool. Gregor Wolf, very good photographer and technician, supposed to be on that, as well as Craig, and hoping for some other buddies. What's up in Las Vegas?
Well, the big thing is that I'm hoping to find a way to get to the Innovation Weekend pre-conference experience that is going on in both Vegas and Berlin. And so I've been reading up on the blog posts that Craig Schmihill and Marilyn Pratt and podcasts they posted on what's coming up for that. And in theory, it's a really interesting concept of combining the Hacker Night and Process Slam and Insight Night into one intensive weekend format around solving a business problem that pertains to nonprofit organization of some kind. So kind of a business for a cause, so to speak. And I like the idea of that because I think that when you have those kinds of workshops where you really focus, you build those kinds of relationships that are really the thing that are really gold from those events that you look back on years later and the friendships made. So I'm kind of excited for that. Other than that, I'm still kind of trying to figure out what my schedule is going to be for the week. And with the bloggers and the mentors, a lot of that is pretty last minute. So I kind of just learned to keep an open mind and not get too set on anything, though I have set up a few of my expert lounge sessions I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, I got the invite or heads up that the hands-on session reservations are coming, so I definitely need to look at my agenda. I will be in Berlin. If I get the clue train stuff all straightened out, then I'll be in Berlin for that first weekend Innovation, and hanging around absorbing. I may not contribute much, but I'll certainly share what I learn. And I'm going to start coughing in a minute, so I'm going to cut this off. Thanks a lot, John.
Yeah, enjoyed it, Jim. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.